2:24, right? Thought I was running late. I don't get much sleep. I'm trying to find that number. But there is a. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. I'm already 24 minutes behind, so just bear with me. Just bear with me. We'll just wait for people to come into the room. Come back into the room. It's just amazing. I'm going outside. Hi, how you doing? Always been one of those days for me, but I'm here. Somebody wanted to have a conversation with me about a democratic agenda and how Christ, yeah, says you're supposed to vote for Democrats or Republicans. It doesn't matter. Um, Welcome to the live. The only thing required is that you read the channel description. If you trolls are back, that's fine. I can go ahead and block you now. Let me see. Yeah, you need to go. You need to go. Hello, Strawberry. Thank you for joining the live. I'm the Mad Trucker, and that's the topic. I was supposed to go on at 2. Yeah, it seems like some people don't know how to read things in their proper cultural context, like the Bible, and they have this strange obsession with a political party and tying that into scripture. And that's not how scripture works. That's not logical. If you have critical thinking skills and you read the scripture, that's what this live is about. How you doing, Judah? Shalom. If you would, just, I'm not kicking anybody out. I'm not monetized on YouTube. I don't get paid for this. I do it for the mission statement. And the only thing that's required is that you do what Judah did. Just say hi. And you can proceed to troll or whatever you want to do after that. I'm not going to tolerate it, but you can do that if you wish, and I will block you. Or we can have a conversation. The working definition of a conversation is truthful, honest questions and answers using logic to come up with solutions to problems. This live is not a place for arguments, debates, or wars. It's either makes sense or it doesn't. The evidence is there or it's not. It's not about feelings. It's not about well, Feel however it is you want to feel. That's what the mad trucker wants. You might not want that, but that's really what it is. You feel however it is you want to feel. And I'm going to feel good right now because it does feel good knowing the truth. And I'm not going to cast pearls to swine. If you're not here for a conversation, please just scroll on. If you're here to troll, you know, ask me to do a backflip, badger me about if I'm a Muslim or whatever, Hebrew, what, please scroll on, because it's not about me. It's about the mission statement. It's about the channel description. It's as simple as that. If you can't understand that, your brain's too smooth, you need to flush out your headgear. Go see the head shrinker. I'm just saying. You might want to take better care of your mental health. If you can't greet people peacefully and have a conversation. Truthful, honest questions and answers. And that is the question of this live. Yes, that's the question of this live. Here it is. I'm going to have to take a call in about 2 minutes, and I'm going to pause the stream. But if anybody has any input, you can put it in the comment section. While you're talking amongst yourselves, I'm going to go ahead and pull that video up. Because if I'm wrong, I'll concede. But I don't think that's happening. Everybody wants to talk about Christ, but they don't want to talk about Christ. Everybody wants to talk about Jesus, don't nobody want to talk about Jesus. Let's talk about it. Because if it ain't for you, then we don't need to talk about it. If it's not for you. But if you want to understand the principles and concepts of why people do certain things that they do, we can have topics and conversations. Conversations solve problems. Conversations don't create problems. A conversation has never caused anybody a problem. Because what they thought was a conversation wasn't a conversation. It was a debate, an argument, or a war. And those three things are synonymous. They're synonymous because one has to be declared a winner and somebody has to be declared a loser. In a conversation, all parties win. Because even if you're not the same religion or skin tone or whatever, you have a common understanding of why that person think and behave the way that they behave. And I don't debate. I debate my equals. Others I teach. And to the trolls that came in earlier, if I have to teach you that lesson by blocking you, that's fine. You got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different YouTube channels. You come back and harass me. I know how it works. And it upsets you that I know you like that. But nonetheless, the topic for today is, where in the scripture does it say we as followers of Christ are supposed to be Republicans or Democrats? And if we don't vote a certain way, we're not what you would call Christians. Without taking the book, chapter, and verse that you quote out of context. Because I have a scripture, and we will read the scripture if you want to go there. But that's the topic for today. If the Bible is not your thing, then this is not the live for you. We're talking about scriptures today. If you don't want to talk about scriptures, you're in the wrong place. Thank you for stopping by. I'm the Mad Trucker. I appreciate you. Like I said, I don't get paid for this. I don't. I'm not asking anybody to pay me for this. I just want people to realize that, we all have the same necessities. We all need the same thing. Food, clothing, shelter. Whether or not you want to believe it, you need to be loved. But see, they perverted the definition of that 4-letter word and got everybody mad in the brain. Smooth brain. That wax I always talk about called racism. Because you don't have to be a certain skin tone to have that mindset. regardless if you have the power to be one or not. Because people are delusional, aren't they? A person can be delusional and think that there's something that they're not. And that seems to be the norm. And then these people that don't know themselves try to place labels on others because they don't know themselves. They don't know themselves. Know yourself. Just get your name out of the stars. Find out who you are before you try to put somebody like me in a box. You wouldn't last 2 seconds up here. Whoever you are. Because this right here is unique and wonderfully made. And so is yours. That's why, it has to be a meeting of the minds, not a conquering of them. A meeting of them. Let's have a meeting of the minds. Talk about these things that affect all of us. And I think that does affect all of us because that's a big deception. It's a grand deception. If Christ was here on this earth, he wouldn't vote any party. He wouldn't be a Republican or a Democrat. Matter of fact, he would condemn you for voting Republican or Democrat. Let's be truthful. I don't know how old you are, but I remember that WWJD movement. Remember that? People had the bracelets, bumper stickers, little plates. What would Jesus do? Well, he wouldn't vote. You know that crucifixion is a capital punishment? Did you know that? Yeah, capital. I mean, it was the state that did that. It's like the state you live in these United States. Does that to innocent people up until this day. You see how people try to kill the truth? You see how long these wicked people have been trying to kill the truth? They haven't been able to get away with it. They're not going to be able to get away with it. There's a higher standard, man. There's a higher standard. And that there's only a remnant to subscribe to. And even a smaller remnant of those that actually try to do what it tells us we're supposed to do and not do what it says we're not supposed to do. There's only an even smaller remnant of that. And at the end of the day, there's no scripture, book, chapter, and verse anybody can put in this comment section to justify saying that, okay, if you don't vote this way, then you're not a Christian. You are not a follower of Christ. Miss me with that lie. That is a lie from the pits of hell. That's what that is. You're not going to get me to believe that lie because I've known the truth for a very long time. Your vote does not matter. Get over it, people. It hasn't mattered since 1968 when they first started that electronic polling. And Dick Gregory won the presidency, and they said that those machines went haywire, and they gave it to Nixon. Research these things. Don't believe me. I'm some mad trucker. Research Dick Gregory. Matter of fact, we can take it to 2006. Yeah, there was a congressional hearing where a gentleman, I'm not going to say his name because it seems like every time I try to put this information out, people try to shut me down. But yeah, this gentleman worked for NASA. He also worked for the Department of Defense. And he was sequestered by Jeb Bush to write a program that could sway the vote either way, 49-51. And it's literally undetectable. And the only way you could know if somebody swayed it is if you had the source code. And the manufacturers of the voting machines never released the source code. Now, you really think your little paper ballot matters? Do you think these numbers that they spit out, that they're telling you the truth, this system that tells you these statistics, you really think it's truthful? It's a just system? Do you really think that? Whoever's watching? Truth sets you free. If you want to, you have the freedom to be a slave if you want to be. I'm a slave to Christ. Okay. You cannot give me, as a matter of fact, preacher hooping, if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't a Christian. Well, now they got a counter movement. Well, if you didn't vote Democrat, then you're not a Christian. If you don't, get out of here with that nonsense, because it is nonsense. Okay. You might say I'm bitter or what. No, I'm not bitter. I'm a vet, and I've lived for a very long time. I'm blessed. I'm not counting my blessings, but I'm blessed. But I'm saying I'm not living in some fantasy world. I know how it works. And once you know something, you can't unknow it. Go figure. You can't pull up one scripture that says you're supposed to vote for a womanizing liar, pathological liar who can't hold his bowels. He likes to just walk up to girls and SA them. Where, huh? Matter of fact, didn't Israel ask for kings? Didn't the Most High give them what they asked for? How did that work out? How did it work out with David? How did it work out with Solomon? Peace be upon them. But they were men. They had their weaknesses. They had their flaws. We all come short. But what are you tracking toward? This is a lawless generation for real. This internet is lawless. Because an unjust law is lawless. Unjust laws lead to unjust actions, don't they? Yeah, and man on man is so unjust. Hatred, they reward you for your love. But at the end of the day, I'm 17 minutes in. I just wanted to get back on for a hot second. But, thank you for attending. I have some calls to make, and I do appreciate your presence. Judah, thank you for joining. Strawberry, thank you for joining. Laurie is in the UK. Thank you for joining. I don't know, man. It's like I see it coming. And I'm like, why people don't get it? I don't get. That's what it is. I don't get why people don't get it. They call me rude. You're rude. You jump. No, I'm not rude. What it is I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's love. Yeah, it's a 4-letter word. It's called love. And Christ said we're supposed to love each other as He loves us, right? As the Most High loves us. What's love? The heart of love is telling somebody the truth. That's the good news. The truth that'll set you free. It might not be pretty. You see, the truth is butt naked. It's not well dressed. Well, it is well dressed. Take that back. The lie is well dressed. The truth is butt naked. And instead of toughening out a little bit, your skin get tough. No, you wrap yourself back up in the lie. We all come short, man. But that is not an excuse. That's what it is. People think it make it like everybody needs to just stop falling into the trap. But unfortunately, it's a broad road. And I'm just a mad trucker on the CV saying, man, it's a pileup. Y'all might want to put on y'all signals and get off. Because I see blood on the highway. And I ain't trying to get involved. And love is telling people that. Even though when I key down and tell them that, somebody will key down on me after I tell them, hey, this mad trucker, let y'all know, man, it's a big pileup. That broad road is man, there's a whole lot of destruction that y'all ain't seeing that I see. I'm putting my signal on. Y'all need to get off. As soon as I let go of The talk, the push the talk. Somebody key down. Shut up, nigger. Yeah, it's funny because that's what it is. That's what it's like. I spent a lot of time by myself. I spent the majority of my time by myself. By myself. I entertained myself with the truth. And when I say entertain, I don't mean I mean it in the sense of the word to entertain. You know what entertain means? It means to be detained so something can enter into you. Christ said, if they are offended at my sayings, they are not worthy of me. That's in Mark. Everybody else get offended at what he said. Not me. Not me. But I mean, it works for me. If it doesn't work for you, that's cool. I'm just saying. Where do people get this mentality that if you don't vote for a certain candidate, then you're not a follower of Christ? When Christ told us not to even be worried about that stuff. We're not supposed to learn not the traditions of men. Does that sound familiar to you, Christians? Isn't voting a tradition? It's a very old tradition. It's not of the Most High Yah. It's not of God. It's not of Jesus. It's not of that. It's of man. And Jesus said, don't do it. Now, what book, chapter, and verse you got for me? Because a certain individual, and I know it's a troll because, these troll accounts, they don't ever have pictures. But, you'll find that these people are hackers. And more than likely, this is the individual that hacked my account, that came into the live earlier. But I'm going to sign off, man. Thank you for joining. I'm the Mad Trucker, man. Shalom.